Hey guys, this is Matt Core from ctrl+paint.com, and today we're going to talk about Sketchup's component system. And I want to make this video now because it goes along really well with vehicle design start to finish, which comes out tomorrow in the ctrl+paint store. And due to time limitations, that series doesn't talk too much about the SketchUp process, but I think it's just so cool that I wanted to show you guys here in this free video. So you can see here I've got a beautiful tank. Well, actually it's a very basic tank. But that's the idea, because SketchUp makes working in passes very easy. Here I've made a very blocky tank, but I've got the proportions the way I want them. Well, if you use the component system in SketchUp, you can block in something, call it a component, and then detail it out later. So for instance, here I've got two cannons on this symmetrical turret. Well, really all the cannon is here is a rectangle. So I'll just make a clone, put it to the side, and then I can position my turret however I want. Now normally, once I've positioned it this way, it'd be a lot harder to work with. Just like in a perspective drawing, once something is off axis, it becomes more challenging. Well, because they're all components, each of those three rectangles are exactly the same. So as soon as I modify one of them, the others will update along with it. So I'm going to work on this one that is perpendicular. Even though it's not on the turret, it's just sort of here off to the side, I'm going to make this my master cannon. And here's where I can do any of the modeling I want to do. So I've sped up the footage a little bit, but you get the general idea. I'm going to be modeling cool shapes one time. And I'm modeling them right here, perpendicular to the ground, so it's very straightforward. So before too long, I have a finished cannon. And this is nice because I really only needed to work on the one and could put in whatever details I wanted to. But then as soon as you back away, you can see that the other cannons look exactly the same. So this is great. Just like working on a drawing, you can first block in the proportions and then refine. But unlike a traditional drawing on paper, this automates the symmetry for me, and I don't have to worry about putting the cannons in perspective. And it's nice to let SketchUp do some of the hard work for you. Things like tires are extremely challenging in perspective. Well, here I've just blocked in a simple rectangular prism where the wheel is going to go. So all 6 of these are components, which means they'll all be exactly the same. So just like with the cannon, I model one tire to look the way I want, and all the others follow along. But in this case, I'm modeling one right on the model, not off to the side like before. The more and more I use SketchUp in my workflow, I really love it. Because sure, it helps me draw in perspective more accurately. But beyond that, man-made objects are filled with repetition. Because working in passes like this, just like a digital painting, is a great way to avoid getting bogged down with detail. So I'd recommend 2 things. First, download SketchUp today because it is free. Learn this software, it's tons of fun and extremely useful. And secondly, if you want to know how this fits into my larger design process, make sure to check out the ctrl+paint store and get your copy of Vehicle Design Start to Finish. Because SketchUp plays a small but integral role in coming to this final image. Thanks for coming to the site, guys.